Alright, peeps. I want to talk to y'all about Dolby Atmos or Atmos, however you pronounce it. Okay, if y'all got a newer television and you got a sound bar and you've got a Xbox or laptop, even PC. Now, I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody doing this on PC, so I don't know if the codec from Microsoft for Atmos has any glitches. But I do know there's a glitch in the codec for the Dolby Atmos. And the possible fix that I believe that I can't reproduce the glitch because it tends to only happen when it wants to. So it's hard to troubleshoot something like that when the issue just randomly happens. Now, it's fairly new. If y'all don't know what Dolby Atmos, it's ATMOS is, just Google it. It's for surround sound, and it's uses software to produce it, and it's neat. When it works great, it's neat. They make the codec for headphones, if you got high quality headphones, and they also make it for sound bars for television sets, home theater systems. Um, but the possible fix, like I said, I can't reproduce the issue, is to turn off, if your television has it, it's called game mode. And what this does is for consoles or laptops, if you want to hook one up to a television set, it will automatically, the TV will, configure with the system, the console or the PC video card, and it will buffer, well, not buffer, that's the wrong word. It will automatically regulate the frame rates for the hardware that's trying to connect to the television set. It will keep from ghosting or kind of like when something's playing really fast and it glitches out or it slows down or ghosts, some people call it. It's got a processor built in to the television that automatically regulates the frame rates as it happens, and it keeps that from happening. It works great. I've never had an issue with them, except for when you get stuff like this. When you get codecs, which is another piece of software that works with the hardware, and then you throw HDCP into it, and that's software from the television set handshaking with the software, HDCP software, with the piece of hardware you're trying to connect with the TV. Now, when you got software involved, it's kind of like antivirus. You got two antiviruses. They tell you not to put two antiviruses on your PC. That's why you got to turn one of them off if you're going to keep one. Well, this is basically what's happening with your television sets and your pieces of hardware. The codec's already new. The Atmos, it's from Microsoft. Well, there's a glitch. I kind of like to think of it as miscommunication from the firmware of the television sets. All companies have them, all firmwares, the newer televisions, and every company's different. They all don't talk to each other, each company, when they make their own piece of software. That's why there's glitches in just about any television set. And there's no one thing for all, no universal codec for all, because firmware on television sets are all different. But there's a miscommunication between the codec and the firmware of the television set. Or possibly there's a miscommunication between the codec, television set, and the firmware of the console, or the firmware of which would be the BIOS of the PC. But I think the main problem starts with the codec. That is where I believe the culprit is. I don't know what it is, but when the codec is installed on the console, somewhere in programming, it's not communicating correctly with the firmware through the television set, or it's making it through the television set and it ain't communicating with the firmware of the soundbar systems. Because the soundbar is what decrypts. It has to understand Atmos or Atmos or Dolby audio, or if your soundbar is capable of doing it, they got Dolby X something. And the soundbar has to be able to decipher or to understand what codec is coming from whatever you're playing, a game, a movie, or whatnot. Okay. And I believe when this, yeah, it's hard to explain this. After it passes through the TV and it makes it to the soundbar, I believe the codec is interfering with the soundbars. That's where I'm trying to explain it too. Because this is all new technology. It takes a while. But I can't understand why I turn off game mode and I don't have a problem with Atmos. So it can't, see, that's what I'm still trying to figure this out. It can't be soundbar. It's got to be in the TV. Or at least, for my case, I think it is. Because again, I turn off game mode and that keeps the auto frame rate, like throttling of the frame rates or whatever, keeps the processor from have to doing it for me or for the console. But when I turn that off, then the codec works fine, or at least for me it does. So if you all have that on your television set, I mean, I would like to try to narrow this down, even if it's a temporary fix, or besides have to go into your console, and then switching the audio formats from 7.1, 5.1 surround, digital, 7.1, 5.1, back to Dolby Atmos to reset it. That's a temporary fix. After the Microsoft just updated, like back in December, their newest update. That's the temporary fix that they got for this, to get your sound to work again through Atmos. But I don't have any issues. Like I said, as long as I got... Now, if I'm playing a console, I leave game mode on the TV, and I don't have no cutouts or any issues like that. It's just with high definition movies that are encoded with Atmos that I run into this issue. And the only possible fix that I think works for me is turning off game mode, I think. Like I said, that just keeps the processor that's built into the TV from automatically throttling the frame rates for the console or the PC, whatever you have connected to the television set. So, drop me some comments, leave me some feedback if this works for you, and if not, leave me comments about that too. That way I know maybe I can look into this further and try different stuff for y'all. See if I can't be of some help or assistance for somebody out there that's having some issues with this. my recommendations is stay up to date with your televisions on your firmware. I know there's a lot of people out there that already know about this. Update all your equipment that you're using. And again, I think it's in the TVs, because not all TVs or firmware are the same. That's why a lot of people are having a lot of good luck with Dolby Atmos, and then there's other users out there that aren't having very good luck with Dolby Atmos. I believe it's in the manufacturing, the programming of the company's television sets. Until everybody gets on the same page of how the codec works through Microsoft, nobody's going to have a working sound system, a good one, until the manufacturers get caught on to this. Because, hey, official Rip Johnny, what's up, bub? Again, like I said, television manufacturers, until they work with Microsoft, they communicate on the programming for the codec for this stuff, for the Atmos, Dolby Atmos, people are just going to have to return their TVs. I'm not trying to play Xbox right now. I'm sorry that you're bored, bud. I just wanted to make a video on the in my case, it's a fix for me. There's a lot of users out there that's having issues with it, so I wanted to go live and at least tell my end of it, how I got it fixed on my side. All my stuff is Samsung except for my soundbar. It's an LG. I think it's SK10Y. And the TV, like I said, is a Samsung. It's a NU8500, I think. So, like I said, with those two compatibilities right there, they work for me, and I got the Xbox One X. Like I said, it's in the TVs. Now, if you already got your TV and you want to try this one and it's still new, you could try to return it for that one. You just got to remember to turn off game mode if you're trying to watch a movie. It works in my case with game mode enabled on consoles. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, drop me a comment, whatever. I hope this helps somebody. But God bless y'all. Stay safe. Peace.